Hello everybody, it's Simone Davis here from Jacaranda Tree Montessori for the Montessori notebook, and I thought it would be fun to show you around my classroom as I've made a few changes in the last 6 months. So a little update for those of you who've seen a tour before. And so this is us coming into our classroom, and you can see straight away very low shelves. This is for a toddler classroom from 16 months, and we actually have some kids in the class who are 3 years old waiting to start school here in the Netherlands at 4. So I've got a little area of the classroom that I've blocked off that I'll show you later for them as well. So these are all of the eye-hand coordination activities along here. So you can see on the top puzzles going from easiest to hardest along the shelf. Down the bottom, this is like an opening and closing row, so purses to find little objects inside. The very famous lockbox. The kids love to open up the locks and find little objects inside. And there's a Russian doll. I have a table here that they can bring their work to. One of the objectives of changing around the classroom a little bit was to free up some floor space so the children can also roll out a mat and work anywhere in the classroom. I'll come and show you around this side first. So here we have some eye-hand coordination activities. Things like the coin box where they post the coins, building a tower with pegs, a balance beam, and then down here I have a series of threading activities. So wooden pieces on the left, smaller pieces in the middle, and then in the two ones on the right are very small beads and shoelaces. Hello everybody, thanks for joining. Super fun to show you around my classroom in Amsterdam. These are some more eye-hand coordination activities. You're welcome, Anna. She said thanks for this. On the left, they're posting little tiny pegs into the hole. It's going to be hard for me to open up any of the baskets when I've got a camera in my hand, sorry about that. And then this is one of the geoboards for stretching elastics across. This is a wedges activity. It's not specifically Montessori, but it's always in use. It's really good for sequencing. Again, geoshapes. I love these. These are different screwing activities, and it comes also with Allen keys that you can use. And this inside has got nuts and bolts so that they can grade them in order from biggest to smallest and learn to screw the nuts onto the bolts. And this is our basket of rods that they can lay out on the floor. There's also little chairs and tables with plants around, and then we come around to our art and craft activity area. So you can see the activities laid out beautifully on the shelf, an area where they can dry their paintings, and these two little green boxes to the right are where we store the supplies. And we have a round table at the moment for our art area, which is very nice for if they want to collaborate a little bit with clay and things like that. Hi Elizabeth, thanks for joining. So let's have a look at exactly what's out at the moment. In the little box on the top left is some nice pencils for drawing, really thick chunky ones for little hands. This is our box for clay. I really like this box because you can open it with one hand actually, and then it seals airtight, which is great for homemade Play-Doh. This is the cutting activity, so a simple sturdy strip for them to be able to snip through, and if they want to repeat, then these are where the supplies are, and they can put the little cutting strips into the envelopes here and close it with stickers in this one. And then underneath here is paper for drawing, and in this one is our gluing activity supplies, paper for gluing, and the sewing card supplies, and this is extra paper for watercolor. So those activities that I mentioned are down on the bottom shelf here. There's the watercolor activity, so there's just one color here, a brush, and a little bit of water at the ready, or they can go refill it, and a cloth, the paper underneath ready to go. This is a gluing box which I made in my Montessori training only 15 years ago, and it's still going strong. I've had to glue it back together a couple of times. A little glue brush in there. They use this lid as actually a surface to glue on. Sorry, excuse the bumpy filming here. Hope you don't get seasick. And then this is the little sewing box. It's very hard to do these things one-handed. I think I'll come back to that. Okay, so over here we always have chalk as well, and an eraser. Hi Carolina, thanks for joining. And And this is where they do their painting. So you can see the aprons on the left. There's clips that they can use. These ones I found at Muji, not here in Amsterdam, but in France, and they have them around the world. These wet cloths to wipe their hands or the floor or the board, and then 2 choices of color here. And then when they're finished, they can take it over here and they can practice pegging it up. And there's more paper for them to continue here. Okay, so that's this side. Over here, I have a little babies area because we often have some younger siblings coming to class, or for the babies who've just moved up from the older group so that they can get straight on with where they're up to. They like these pop-up toys on the top shelf, posting the little pegs in. This one's got a ball in the drawer, and then coins in a drawer, big coins. These are big discs, yeah, so perfect. Then there's just for really young babies grasping toys, posting onto the different sticks. There we go. And then always beautiful flowers down low for our youngest kids. And there's a mirror as well. I have a rug that they can lay out. In this corner here, I have our self-care area where they can blow their nose and use the little clips, the little low mirror. And there's also a felt board there, which I change from time to time. At the moment, there's some sea animals. And then our language corner is here. So we start with objects on the top. So in this suitcase is everything that they might like to do to go to the beach. They can look at all the objects around the house. Then we have a basket of musical instruments with exactly the same pictures. At the moment we have office supplies with exactly the same pictures, construction vehicles with similar pictures, and Australian animals with similar pictures. And then we have just cards over this side. You can see little roll mats that they can roll out as well. At the moment we have fruits and birds. And then in these bags, they're stereognostic bags, which are like mystery bags. You can put your hands in and feel around them. So they're not specifically language, but that's where they just are located in our classroom. And the same for these up here. This is our dressing frames, a zipper, buttons, and a clasp out at the moment. So the reason for this big change is because I wanted to make this area for our older kids a bit more off limits. So you can see you shouldn't have any of these materials in a toddler class normally. You can see the pink tower and the brown stair and the cylinder blocks and the metal insets getting ready for school. But those materials are really for older children, and it's only because we have children in our class who are waiting to start school at 4. So we have a very small area that's just for the older kids. This here is our farm, and the ball track is great just by the front door where the children come in. It's nice to ease them into the classroom. Okay, so now I'll take one pick back so you can see where all that fits together. So you can see again the eye-hand coordination activities along the right, the art and craft at the back. There's a nice big construction going outside, sorry about that. The language corner, and then through here we go to our book corner. Hi Bonnie, thanks for joining. Big heart eyes, I know. I love our little classroom so much. This is our cozy book corner. We have a lovely mat that we can lie on, some bean bags, a selection of Dutch and English books, and low artwork. And there's always armchairs around here as well for them to cozy up. So this is a class for parents and toddlers, so they like to curl up together, read books in here. They're books that are based often in reality, like There's a House Inside My Mummy's about having a new baby, Fred the Firefighter about what he's doing, books with beautiful pictures of under the ocean. Mid in the Nacht is a night picture with lots of things for them to spot, and lots of vehicle books, simple stories, and always really beautiful, engaging pictures that you're happy to read again and again and again and again, because we know that toddlers like repetition. Okay, so then we come through this little corner into, oh, mind the tree, into our music and movement area. So yes, we have a beautiful climbing wall, which is 1.2 by 2.4 for those who are wanting to build it. It's a piece of plywood, and then you can buy the grips from places like Amazon. Okay, and then we have a pickler triangle here, which I originally just had for the baby class, but the toddlers love practicing on it. you can see that there's some tape on the second bottom rung, and that shows them where they can put their feet to climb over without toppling over the top. Hi Monica, thanks for joining. And over here is musical instruments. I have inherited this beautiful metallophone, which is gorgeous. A music puzzle, different shakers, and all types of instruments. I also have a block corner here for some more relaxing kind of play. So that's good for gross motor movements. And then these little steps are great for babies to practice walking, but the toddlers also love them too, and they try to climb up there with a jug in their hands or look out the window when they get to the top. You can see some Dutch houses across the way there. So then if I spin back this way, you can see we're now moving into the practical life area where they have the flower arranging and hand washing and our food preparation area and all of the things for cleaning. Oh, and I nearly forgot our very famous cozy cube. So the kids love exploring in here. There's a hole there. I'll go inside so you can see. See, there's different levels. And then at the top there's a hole as well. Cool. Okay. So let me show you first over here the flower arranging. They love this. So if your children like playing with water, get a little jug, a funnel, little vases, and then some doilies, and they can arrange them around the room. There's lots of plants and a watering can at the ready so that they can water the plants. This is our hand washing activity. So for a young child who wants to practice carrying water, making bubbles, emptying it into the bucket, that's a great activity. And then our food preparation activity. So we moved it over this side about 6 months ago because we've moved to a group snack. So this is around 10:30, which is halfway through the class. I get out these trays and I sit on the little chair in the U shape, and children come and help me prepare the snack, and we put it on the plate for our friends, and then at 11 o'clock we sit down together. So you can see that they help me with the banana cutting and cracker spreading, orange juicing. The brand of this one is Metro Cane, because I'm sure people will ask. It's a great solid orange juicer. And this is for apple peeling and cutting. And then you can see the washing up activity over here, a little menu and some lovely art again at their low level. And this is where we set the table. So you can see the placemats. It shows them exactly how to set our materials. And then there's always water available if they want to pour a glass of water, face cloths and table wiping cloths. And then on the bottom row we have real glasses, because in Montessori we like to use real glass. It's much easier to pour into real glass and tastes much better. There's some cutlery, some forks and spoons, and the bowls, and there's some aprons at the ready as well. This is where they can put any dirty cloths, and we have a low sink down here, which was actually amazing because it was in the space when we got it, but I changed the tap to one that automatically cuts off as well, for obvious reasons when you have toddlers and water together. This is the garbage bin where they bring their peels to when they're preparing the food. A trolley where they put the glasses on the top, bowls in the middle, and this is the window washing activity, which we wash the windows of the doors. And if I spin around this way, you can see the lovely dustpan, mop at the ready, and there's a hanging mat there, which is actually just a resting space. So I have got high shelves here just for myself, but I make them attractive with plants and things like this. So I'll just give you a little overview of this room from this side. And this bench in the middle is for the parents to sit while we're having the snack. So that's the tour of the classroom. Thank you everyone for joining me. I hope that you found it useful, and may you have a peaceful and lovely day. Goodbye.